and welcome to Weekly Inspirations. My name is Keegan Harkins, and this week we're talking about being faithful when we're tired. And I'm not talking about the lack of sleep kind of tired, but rather a weary from working and not seeing any results kind of tired. Can we be faithful when it feels like we're running on a treadmill? When we work so hard, but we just don't seem to ever get anywhere? Sometimes exercising our faith leaves us tired and perhaps even tempted to give up. But God tells us to hold on and be persistent in our faith. 2 Thessalonians 3:13 says, "And as for you, brothers, never tire of doing what is right." I think that there's times in everybody's life when this command is especially challenging, particularly when we have had a period of time where we're not seeing any success. This command can get tough. But we need to remember that Jesus never told us that following him was going to be easy. In fact, a lot of times he told us just how hard it would be. He told us that we would have to take up our cross daily and follow him. And maybe in our modern minds, it doesn't have as huge of an impact as that statement did to the people who heard him say it originally. Because to us, the cross is a symbol of hope and peace. But to them, it would have brought a very real image of execution, and not a pretty execution, a very painful and long, drawn-out process. Because the only one who had to carry their cross was the condemned criminal, who had to carry it from the point of their sentencing about half a mile to where they would be executed. And if we just think about the sheer size of a Roman crucifixion cross, it kind of gives us that impression of the weight of this issue. These crosses were ginormous. I mean, the part that stood up out of the ground was about 9 feet tall. The cross beam itself was over 6 feet wide and weighed about 150 pounds. The entire cross would have weighed about 300 pounds. I mean, that's the gravity of this calling to pick up our cross and follow God. He was telling us that it was going to be hard and it was going to be painful at times. As Christians, we're bound to get splinters. I mean, they didn't sand these crosses smooth, and we shouldn't expect our burdens to be smooth either. But still, God encourages us to not give up. He knew that we would have times when we're tired. He knew that there would be times when the burden that we're carrying is too heavy, that we feel like we just can't put one more step in front of another. Times when we've invested months into a person's life, teaching them about God, and then we watch them turn their back on that and go back to a life of sin. That's hard. When we make sacrifices to honor our faith, and it costs us friends, it costs us relationship with family members, that makes it heavy. When we pour ourselves into our calling, into our ministry, and we encounter one obstacle after another obstacle, it gets tiring. But our faith can be stronger than our struggle because the reward is so much greater than anything we could ever lose. In John chapter 8, verses 31 and 32, Jesus said, "If you hold to my teaching, you are really my disciples. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." That freedom brings a greater reward than any of the splinters of life. 1 Corinthians 15:8 has Paul writing, "Therefore, my dear brothers, stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain." there are bound to be moments when we get tired of fighting the good fight. There are moments when I get overwhelmed and I just cry out, all right, God, you can come back right now. But there's a reason for every season in our life. And when we get tired, we need to hold on to our faith all the more. Arnold Palmer once said, "The most rewarding things you do in life often are the ones that look like they can't be done." And as we carry our cross, as we live our lives for God, we need to remember that. Everyone who has ever made an impact on the world got tired. The difference between surviving this life and allowing God to use our life to change the lives of others may just be the holding tight to our faith when we get tired. God promises that He'll renew our strength when we rely on Him. So the next time we're overwhelmed and feeling like we're on this hamster wheel, that we need to remember that just because we don't see what God is doing, it doesn't mean He isn't working. We may never know the impact our life has on someone else. And the young man who first lived Christ to me, who first shared the gospel and shared God's love with me, he never knew that I ever gave my life to Christ. He's my hero and my inspiration. And until we meet in heaven, he is never going to know that. So we have to hold on. When we're tired, if we feel like we're not accomplishing anything, it may just be that we're not seeing what God is accomplishing through us. We can keep fighting the good fight because when we walk in faith, God will use us even if we don't ever see the harvest. I hope that you've been encouraged today. If you'd like to download the free worksheet that goes with this lesson or check out any of the other lessons available from Hebrews 4 Ministries, please check out our website. It's Hebrews4ministries.com. Have a truly blessed day.